Hi, Thomas.
Hi, Harris. I
Hi.
hope you're having an amazing day.
Well, I hope so. Yes. Yeah, it's okay. The sun's shining. It's good.
That's good. Um, Look, man. Okay, so I'm very, very confused. Okay, first I was a Muslim. All right, I
Mhm.
left that. Now I'm a Christian,
Oh.
and now I feel like I'm being confused and being made an ullu by Christianity.
You
So,
are.
so what I want to know is, what is your like criticism mainly on Christianity?
Well, there's no
Because what
evidence.
I've seen, yeah, because what I've seen is like it's good. It's basis of morality, as every Christian says. I don't know, man.
This is why I say. So this is what I say. So a lot of ex-Muslims who actually end up becoming Christian and they say, oh, I left. So if you leave Islam, and I think this is why it's very important, what reasons you leave Islam on. So if you leave Islam because of violent verses in the Quran, jihad,
Yeah,
and all this, child marriage, and all that, so bad morality, then I think this alone is not a good enough reason to leave Islam. Because let's just say Islam didn't have child marriages. Aisha's age was not 9, and let's say some groundbreaking discovery shows that Aisha's age was not 9. Let's just say that, and the new version of the Quran comes out in which all the violent verses have been taken out. And let's just say there are no jihadis left in the world in 100 years' time. It's quite possible. Islam is more. Would that make Islam true?
I
No.
don't think so.
No, yeah, exactly. So when people tell me that Christianity doesn't have these violent verses or practices, I know Christianity has gone through a lot of reform, but ignoring that,
Oh, it has. That's interesting.
yeah, but does it make it true though? Do the central claims of Jesus, Holy Spirit, Son of God, heaven and hell, God being the creator of the universe, any of these claims, are they actually true or not? So the
Well,
truth is,
like,
the
what
truth
about
is,
the whole witness thing? They say like the disciples witnessed Jesus being killed and then rose from the dead.
yeah, well,
I
everything
don't
was
know. They
written
say like there's
40 years.
5,000
Yeah,
something.
40 years after he was Jesus was first time mentioned
Oh,
in writing by Josephus, and then he was, I think, nearly the epistles of Paul were written nearly 80 years after that. So after supposed Jesus' death, so Jesus might have been a man. He might have existed. He might have been some crazy guy who said some things. So he might have existed, but again, we see so many people die today making claims about this prophethood and all that. So what?
mm.
We have examples of people today who have claimed prophethood.
Yeah.
Do we believe that? So what if Jesus did exist and he did claim all of these things? Did he act? Do we have any? What did they say? Pigs don't fly, right? So do humans walk on water? I know Dynamo the magician pulled that trick on us. Maybe maybe Jesus was a great trickster as well. But was he resurrected? Is there any evidence? People get fooled today when Dynamo Magician goes through a glass wall right before our eyes. He doesn't even bother to put a piece of cloth
Mm.
to trick you. He goes right through your eyes, right before your eyes, goes through the glass. You go, how did he do that? So people get fooled by these amazing tricksters of today. Then how who's to say that these guys? People get fooled by these Babajis and these P's and these.
Say. Yeah,
So
you're
how
right.
do you believe? So how can so what is more likely? Was Jesus lying or making things up, or some really amazing thing really happened? I mean, come on. Obviously, people feel that today as well. People fall for that trap today. People fell for that trap 2,000 years ago, and probably they didn't fall for as much of a trap as people of today have fallen. Because obviously, it would have gone through some sort of evolution. Some of the claims would have changed over time. So yeah, so that is the biggest. I mean, as I said, the the universal arguments against Christianity,
Mhm.
sorry, against Islam, are the same as they apply on Judaism, Christianity, and Hinduism.
Okay, now here's the thing. I understand if we can debunk, all these religions, and I'm pretty sure we can debunk a lot of them. What would that lead us with? It'll okay, atheism. Now I'm just confused because last year I made a decision I would never step into atheism ever again. Now, if we debunk Christianity, I actually might go into that territory. But my concern is, how can something come from nothing? I'm really, really curious on this.
Yeah, well, so how can something so smart stays forever, right? So you can make the same argument against God as well. So where did he come from? He could have come from something as well. So where did he come from? Nothing. So with the Big Bang, though, right? So we say that it's easier for us to say we don't know. There's a book by Lawrence Krauss, Universe from Nothing. I think I understand it, but maybe sometimes when I try to understand it, I don't understand it. It's a very small book. You should try to read it, where he tries to. So he proposes that, and it's been criticized a lot by other physicists as well. But now again, I'm just going purely not scientific. Well, I'm just going purely by common sense of what my mind can go through. So everything, every atom there is, everything that's been created at the moment of the creation, all the matter or the energy, it must have existed there, right? But now we say where things get complicated, like even space didn't exist. So there was no space. So, if this is a tiny little dot before the Big Bang, everything around, there's no space around.
It's all compressed, concentrated in one.
But what is outside that, though? Mind doesn't work that. So, I mean, the space that is expanding at the moment of Big Bang, it is expanding into something, right? So there must have been something that is expanding. So these are the things I think that we should leave these questions to. But whatever was compressed, it was there, right?
But where did that come from?
No, but something was always there. No, it doesn't have to come from somewhere. Something was always there. Something had to be there. If nothing was there, then we wouldn't be here. So one thing we can agree that something was there, and a lot of theologians use that argument. They say, well, something has to exist in order for everything to exist, and that's the argument that they pull in for necessary argument for necessary being. They say that, but what they disagree on that is they say, well, there's something is a smart, intelligent God. Now I'm going to break it down to you. What is more likely? What is more likely? So we agree that something had to exist. Forget about where did it come from, but something existed. So then we ask, and theologians and us atheists agree on that. Now, what the difference comes, we say that something that existed was just a collection of matter and energy. That's it. It's just energy converted into matter and then kept expanding, and that's when atoms and everything came into being.
I agree.
But religious people say that something was God.
Yeah.
And that God, so now let me ask you something. What is more likely in wilderness? Just something very simple from coming out of nothing, or being there, something very simple, or something very complex. So there's only two things now. If something was there, it was either simple or it was complex. Now, what is, by definition, simple is something that doesn't require a lot of work and effort, but complex is something that requires some sort of a process to go, because you can't turn a rock into a human being, right? Mm-hmm. But a rock can be found, as we agree that something does it. A rock is simple, an animal is not simple. So to say, I think it's a bigger jump to say that there was nothing, and then there was something, and that something was God, who is complex, who thinks, who knows what's going to happen, who can lift the biggest rock in the universe. He can create human beings out of nothing. He can do this, and the planets coming. So that is very complex. But he exists, but no explanation. But then there is a rock that exists. That doesn't need a lot of explanation, does it? Now, that's more likely that a simple thing could exist. So a simple, and this is why we say that complex things come from simpler origins.
Oh, so I see what you mean.
So even we look at that life has come from simpler origins. Earth, believe it or not, was only about this big at some point, 4 billion years ago, and then when it started coalescing with all the matter around it, it went this big from something very small. So everything starts from simple to complex. So to say, so we can say universe was very simple at the start, or the matter energy required was very simple, and now it became very complex. But to say that God was very complex, has always been complex, and is eternal, timeless, and will always be complex, that is a far bigger jump than to say the universe was simple at some point.
I see. Well, okay. That's actually a very good explanation. But now here comes my next fear.
Right.
Death. What comes after that? Because I'm honestly scared of that.
You shouldn't be. Like when you realize, I always say this to myself. I don't want to die. I want to live for 1,000 years, but I know I'm gonna die, and I know that like there will come a point in my life when I will be in excruciating pain. I will be, whether through a stab wound or through cancer or some sort of an old age. I would be in pain. I know that that's gonna happen. So
The
I'm
pain
not
that
gonna
scares
worry.
me.
Huh?
It's the pain that scares me.
Yeah. Look, I mean, and that's why you should make yourself in a comfortable position. Like go to a country where voluntary euthanasia is allowed. And I've said it before. If I'm diagnosed with a terminal disease and I'm told you've got 2 months to live now, I'll pull the plug. I'll get voluntary euthanasia. I'll be like, yep, give me an injection. I'm gone, and I'll film it. I'll put it on my YouTube channel. So if the channel still exists, so when you are going through that process, when you're seeing death, a lot of people who are dying, they actually say, we're tired. I'm done with life. So don't worry about death right now. Worry about enjoying life. Worry about tomorrow, or have a goal, have a plan. When that time comes, I'm sure you'll be able to handle it. I used to worry about death too, especially when I became an atheist. I was like, man, this is all we've got. I gotta live the most of it. But then I say, I'm not special. Are you more special than Julius Caesar, or are you more special than Genghis Khan? Or
You
Alexander
could
the
be.
Great? No, you're not. No. Maybe you are. Maybe you are. But I'm talking about myself. I mean, I'm talking about myself. I ask myself question: am I more special than these people? No, Harris, you're just another guy, just like them. Those guys conquered the world at that time, but they all had to die. So why do I get a special pass? I also have to die, and but you will never know. Science might be able to come up with something where they might extend our life to 1,000 years. Maybe that's also possible. So hang tight. Don't worry about death.
What do you think
Okay.
happens after that?
Nothing. Same thing that happened before you were born. Nothing. You become
Darkness,
immaterial.
unconsciousness.
Darkness gone. No, I think it was. I'm not worried about what happens after death. I would not be in pain, just like I was not in pain for billions of years before I was born. So were you in pain when Adolf Hitler was doing all these things, or Stalin was doing all these things with Genghis Khan? Were you in pain? Were you hurt
No,
at that time when these guys were doing this on
Earth.
planet Earth? You
No,
weren't, right? So when you're dead, these things will keep happening and you would not be aware of them.
I see. Huh.
Okay.
What
All
if there
right.
is a God?
Sorry.
What if there is a God and he's evil? Like, what if he is an
Well
evil
then,
God?
well then we're
All right, man. All right, take care, Harris. Have a great day, man.
all right.
God bless,
Okay.
I suppose.
To help me produce more videos like these, support me on Patreon or PayPal.